What's going on, everyone? Cybernox here. Welcome to my channel. And today we're going to be discussing the Ubisoft Forward July 2020 event. We're going to give you our thoughts, let you know some of the games that they showcased. We're going to talk about those too. And to help me do that, I have two good friends of mine. I have Tempest son. How you doing, Tempest?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Glad
It's
to
actually
have.
the first time. Yeah, it's actually the first time I think I've been on somebody else's channel other than Mr. Boomstick. So
Yeah, man. We got to do this more often.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
And returning from the Last of Us Part 2 spoiler cast, I have Cotton helping me out again. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, dude? Good to be back on this channel, man. Yeah, this is also the only other channel I've been on besides Mr. Boomstick. Shout out to Mr. Boomstick XL. Give me my first shot so I can meet you boys.
Yeah, man.
I'm
You
excited,
guys are
excited to get this
welcome
rolling.
anytime. So I am gonna show the the event here on the background. Let me just start it up.
Sweet.
And then we'll talk a little bit about this. So I will go into some of the notes I have here. They actually showcased 8 games during their main course, let's say, because they had a very long pre-show, which they announced actually some good content too. I believe Beyond Good and Evil was on the pre-show, wasn't even on the main show, which I thought was a little weird. There's a lot of
That's
people
weird.
that wanna see that show. But did any of you guys catch the pre-show at all, or did you guys just went and watched the main event? Tempest, I'll ask you first.
Yeah, I kind of waited around, and I was busy at the time, so I just kind of looked at the timer, and I was waiting for the main show because I didn't think the pre-show would honestly have anything like relevant in it. And if it did, then I'm kind of oblivious to. I'd be interested to hear what they showed, but yeah, I was pretty much just there for the main course.
What about you, Khan?
Yeah, same. I was out all weekend, and so I didn't get to catch the live show. I heard that they had it going for about 3 hours, and I had no idea they announced Beyond Good and Evil 2 on the pre-show. That blows my mind. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm in the same boat there.
yeah, I kind of heard that it wasn't there. So when you said in the pre-show, if they showed anything new, because I'm definitely interested in that game, so that's kind of screwy
Yeah,
because that's should be
but
one of their biggest titles.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think they just literally briefly mentioned it or showed a little trailer of it.
Mhm.
But it was a long pre-show, man. They did a lot of gameplay at first, and then it was in and out, just talking to devs. But besides that, I think they showed a couple more things on like Rainbow Six Siege.
Mhm.
I was just like you guys. I was there for just the main course. I wanted to see what they were gonna show us, and they actually started off with the game that we see right here. They started off with Watchdog Legions. So of the 8 games that they showed, they started off with Watchdogs Legion. They went to Brawlhalla. They showed Mighty and Magic, Era of Chaos, Tom Clancy as Elite Squad, Rainbow Six Siege, Hyper Escape, and then Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So let's talk a little bit about them. We can talk about them in order. Watchdog Legion. Cotton, you excited for it? What did you think about what they showed?
I mean, I'm definitely more excited now than I was.
Mhm.
Honestly, I was never really big on Watch Dogs. When the first one came out, it looked cool. I mean, I went to play it, and my buddy bought it, so I never even bought it. But I played it a bit, and like I never played Watch Dogs 2 at all. But this one definitely piqued my interest, and it looks like some of the just the mechanics they're doing with all the NPCs is the way you can go about like every mission in any way almost from what it seems like. I was watching that guy, I can't remember his name, but the person you linked Tempest to somebody on Twitter of his.
ACG.
Yeah, ACG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, ACG. Yeah, so I watched his, and he definitely got me a bit more hyped up for it. I mean, it seems
Mhm.
pretty in depth with all of the systems they have in place. I mean, the game looks good. The lighting looks good. It's going to look better on the Series X.
Oh, get
So
get this. This is gonna be a funny comparison for you guys. You know what it really reminded me of? A lot of the game systems.
Yep.
You're gonna laugh, but State of Decay 2 or State of Decay,
I love State of
the
Decay.
the random people. I mean, it's random, but you got like a pool of pluses and minuses for each like survivor.
Yep.
Right.
And that's kind of what it reminded me of, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, you're not building a settlement or anything, but you are trying to recruit people, and they all
Right.
have different like skills and whatnot. So that's actually kind of what I thought of when I saw
You,
it. So
you know what it reminded me of? This whole
mhm.
system of you can recruit anybody and they'll be on your side. The Nemesis system from
I was
Shadow
just
of
thinking
Mordor.
that. Yeah,
Oh
I was
yeah,
thinking that too.
I think I mentioned, I forgot who's that? Where did I mention? It was on someone's chat. I was just like, hey, is this the new Nemesis system? Is this like
yeah,
Right.
improvised or Ubisoft's own uh, system to, so they can rival?
Right. Like an iteration of it
Yeah,
at least.
exactly. So
yeah,
I was interested. Man, this game to me it looks like a lot of fun. At least they're trying something a little bit different. I think Ubisoft has come in a little bit under some scrutiny just because their games starting to become a lot of they're starting to become a lot of the same thing in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All their games,
yeah,
they play the same. You literally have the same objectives. Like if you play, we'll get into Assassin's Creed a little bit later, but the Eagle is pretty much a drone that you have on, the Ghost Recon franchise
Right.
and things like that. So, Tempest,
yeah.
what you think about Watch Dogs, man?
I'll be honest with you. It wasn't on my radar for quite a few reasons, and one of which is I have a hard time getting into games where your character is like mute, and I just saw the system as recruiting a bunch of randoms pretty much. As I thought, like you wouldn't have anything to fall back on. You wouldn't have that main character, that
Right.
protagonist, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw that the technology that they're putting in to make the voices sound different, and they showed you, the same part being played, but by different people that you can recruit, and they said slightly different things. They sounded different, and I guess they will have personalities. So it's not quite what I would normally like.
Right.
But I got to be honest with you, man. Like I said, this really wasn't on my radar. And when I watched it, I was like, this just looks fun. Like, especially when they said, I don't know if like they give him to you, it's almost like it's scripted, but you pretty much get your hands on John Wick. And
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that part was
Yeah.
funny, man.
when he started doing the takedowns and stuff, I was like, whoa, I just wasn't expecting it. So
Right.
Literally,
yeah,
even the music was on there. Yeah.
yeah. So it's on my radar now, and before it wasn't. So if this event did anything, it sold me, and they got a customer because I'll be honest, I wasn't gonna buy it. Oh, and seeing the granny again just
Oh
take
yeah.
somebody down with their freaking
Granny's a
cane.
definitely a star.
It just
Yeah,
looks like a fun sandbox to be in, right? Like you're gonna be
yeah,
able to utilize so many different things that it's. I like how the game is not taking itself too serious. You know what I mean? It's having
Right.
fun
yeah,
with so many different characters, and you're gonna be able to literally be any of these characters. I think it's
yeah.
gonna be a lot of fun, and kind of like what you
I,
said too. They're using this AI to help them doing all this voice acting, which it looks amazing, man. The technology looks great, and they're gonna have so many different variances of dialogue. It's gonna be cool to see,
yeah.
or how
I will.
repetitive it's gonna get, right?
Yeah, I will say this, like with my viewpoint of
I think the game, like I mentioned before, it looks fun. It looks like it's not taking itself too seriously. It looks like you're going to be able to do so many different things with so many different characters that I just hope that it doesn't get too repetitive. Like how many different
Right.
variations of characters, are they gonna have? I did play the first one. I played the first one. I didn't play the second one. I do have it.
same here. Yeah,
I just don't know if I should play the second one before I play this, just to kind of get familiar again with that world. But we'll see. I have way too many games on my backlog. So
Right.
um,
yeah.
yeah. Anything
Are the
else?
stories like linear between the three? Like I know I've heard that you run into the main character from Watch Dogs 1 and the second one, but
Right.
like is it just kind of like that's not like completely linear, right? Like you don't need to play the other ones, or do you? I mean, obviously it would help.
I don't think you have to be honest with you.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we're all in the same boat. I think we all played the first one, and the first one had like some good aspects to it, but it was just like lacked any form of personality.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, the main character was so brooding, but it wasn't even in, like, really in a cool way. And but like some of the mechanics were solid. It's just, and then the second one came off, and they're like, well, the first one was kind of boring, so let's just make everybody like Dead Mouse and crazy dubstep,
Right.
wacko people. And so it's like almost they just went from one extreme to the other. I did never played the second one. Maybe I should, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the permadeath is that's a cool feature for, like, I mean, gives you like that weight of the decisions you're making, right? Because I heard that they made that to where it's like a toggle now, where you can toggle permadeath on or
I'm
off.
I'm gonna keep it on. That
Oh
makes
yeah,
it.
Oh
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I want it on, because you just, it makes you want to build your legion up, so that maybe you really really like Granny.
Yeah.
You don't want to see her go, so you're gonna like go get some more people that are maybe a little bit more expendable, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
everyone's got their certain skills, and
And it gives
it
you
just adds weight.
and it gives exactly, I was about to say, it gives you a more sense of your characters actually having meaning,
Right.
and then you're just like State of Decay. I actually go back to Tempest and what he mentioned before has that. You have permadeath. You have these characters that you build up, and they're fully strength. Perfect in shooting. They got stamina, and then sometimes you get into one of those freaking situations, man, that when you lose. When you lose a character that you've built up, man, you feel it. And I think there's a lot of games that can benefit from that. And they should start doing that, or giving the player the option to do that in a lot more games, because it just gives you another sense of, um, of kind of like what you said, weight and actually connection with the character that you built up.
Yeah, it's brutal sometimes. Like State of Decay, I guess it's off topic. State of Decay too. It's funny because sometimes your people can die, and like not even by a zombie. Like one time, this dude fell off of a sign. You can go up and on the signs, like
Oh
we already
yeah,
got.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
towers. One fell off, and I was like, "What?" It's like, but you know what? Somebody could go, "Oops," and they die.
Yep.
Makes all the more real. So yeah, it's interesting for sure.
It's
Yeah.
nice, man. All right. Anything else on Watchdog Legions? I think we're all pretty much excited for this one. I think, to me, I'm between this
Oh,
and Far Cry for my game of the game of the show. So
I do have one more thing, if I
yeah,
may.
of
And
course,
it's
man.
not it's about this game, but I think it's about all of Ubisoft's games right now. So they gave access to this game to Digital Foundry. They pumped up the ray tracing. They had the settings on ultra, everything on ultra. So
Yep.
the best graphics you'll see, capped at 30 frames per second, even on the PC that they were playing on. And it just, I just hope that these companies just don't force just the high fidelity and nothing else. Like
Right.
that just kind of worried me because I'm like, why ultra? I'm like, if you've ever played a PC game, going from high to ultra is like barely noticeable, yet it like sucks up so many resources.
Yep.
And it's just like I don't see the reason, and it tells me that Watch Dogs Legions, even on the Series X, is probably going to be 30 frames per
30
second,
frames. Yeah.
and I can't help but be a little bit annoyed by it.
Oh, 100%. Blue Moon FC. I appreciate the subscription, man. Thanks so much. But
Nice.
yeah, I agree with you, man. It's kind of like a punch in the gut when you start. I mean, these games have been in development for a little while, but they've
Hmm.
known what kind of hardware also has been. They've known that the hardware was gonna be extremely better than the one they had before, so they can also use that as an excuse. I think, just like, hey, we're pushing all this other things here. That's why we're not putting. That's why we're not doing 60 frames. But
I
I
tell,
don't
I
know,
tell
man.
you, yeah, I tell you. In comparison, when CD Projekt Red took people and they showed them the game or whatever, and they got to play it, they showed it to them, and they had it at 1080p, but on ultra with ray tracing and all that stuff, and they were well above 60 frames per second when they were playing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, 1080p is way more blurry, don't get me wrong, than even 1440p or especially 4K, but just like give us options. That's all I want. I just feel like we're not going to get that from these Ubisoft
Yeah,
games.
not from Ubisoft. It seems like they really like, to quote Jez, that the filmic experience. That's just like especially
Yeah.
with Valhalla coming. I mean, these games. I mean, obviously they've been in development for a while, right? But
Hmm.
you do think that they're, I don't know. Hope they throw in some performance modes and not like just cap it off. It seems like Ubisoft for sure is one of the ones who are like they want to push fidelity and
Yeah.
they want 30 frames and that's what they're going for. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the next game that it went on to was Brawlhalla. I've played this game actually before. Me and a bunch of friends, sometimes we get crazy and we just start talking a lot of shit. And then we're like, all right, you just let's go then on Brawlhalla. Okay, let's go. But I do understand some of these games, that they have to show. I've often said this about Xbox events as well. They have to cater to a whole demographic, right? It's not just what we want to see,
Yeah.
but they have to cater to everyone. So I didn't
Yeah.
mind any of these games. So they right after Watchdog Legions, they talked about Brawlhalla, Mighty Magic, Era of Chaos, which is kind of just showing right now, and then
Hmm.
Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. Any of you guys have any thoughts on any of those three games?
The only one I'd play is Brawlhalla, and that's just because of the Smash comparisons. I haven't played it yet. I heard some people say that it's fun. Do
Yeah,
you
it
like
is a
it?
little fun. Yeah, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I've personally never played Smash Brothers.
Oh,
what?
really?
Are
Yeah,
you
Wow.
serious?
no.
No way.
Oh yeah, man. I
Wow.
used to be I have a Switch, but I'm sad to say, man, I can't do Nintendo anymore. I don't know what it is. I have no
Yeah.
idea what it is. For
I'm
some
half.
reason,
I'm halfway there with you. Like, I understand.
yeah, I don't know what it is, man. Like it breaks my heart because I grew up with Nintendo, and
Yeah.
I have so much great memories with it. But
Hmm.
even Zelda, which is one of like my beloved franchises, like I'm playing Breath of the Wild right now, and it's just been sitting there. Like I don't know what it is that's taking me away from
I could
this
tell you
Switch.
why, but that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
That game was like a solid 7 to me, and I know people would like freak out hearing me say that, but I'm like, it's just I don't know.
yeah. All right, let's get
Yeah,
back on topic here.
yeah.
Brawlhalla, very fun game. I really enjoy it. You can play co-op with your friends. You can do so many different. There's so many different characters, different stages, so many different ways you can freaking do private matches. But just be ready because if you go against multiplayer matchmaking, you're gonna you better be ready to get that ass whooped. I'm just gonna say it
Yeah.
just like that because it's crazy. Like the people who have been playing this game and have been following this game, it's like
Hmm.
wow,
That's how
they
Smash is.
really know what they're doing. I'm sure Smash is just like that too.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah,
Um,
I
so
don't even know what Elite Squad is, to be honest
my
with you. I'm
elite
watching it
squad.
here.
I don't know either. It looked like it's obviously a mobile game, right?
Yep.
Mobile
Yeah.
game coming out, and they killed me. They showed Sam Fisher, but they that's how they're gonna give me a Splinter Cell on the mobile game. What
I
are they
can't
doing?
stand that, man.
Come on, man, you
What are
can't
you?
do
What are
that
you
to
out of your
us.
mind?
Are you kidding me? Man, I love the Splinter Cell franchise, and I saw Sam Fisher, and I was just like, oh man.
Why do they feel that he's not marketable? Is it Sam Fisher himself? Is it just why? I mean,
I
did the last one do very poorly? Like, I don't understand what's going on.
The
I
last one was
just
Conviction, right?
no,
No,
it
it
was
was
a
Blacklist.
Blacklist. Blacklist was
Yeah.
good, man. I like Blacklist. It was nice.
Blacklist was he was a bit older, right? And it was more like
He was supposed to be older, but he looked younger in the game. I don't know how that, he did it like Benjamin Button. I don't know.
Yeah.
Eh,
Different voice actor too.
Different voice actor too.
Ironside was
Yeah,
sick, I believe. Yeah.
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 the games are
But
so good always. So
so good, man. The Splinter Cell franchise is so good. I can't believe they're just. I just think they haven't found a way to uh to not put microtransactions on that franchise yet.
yeah,
They haven't added in. I mean, they have Assassin's Creed, which they add a ton of RPG elements, but I don't think they just found a way to make more money than they want on that franchise. That's why I think we haven't seen one. But fingers crossed, we'll see something at the Xbox event. But I don't know.
Yeah. Probably not, but
Yeah.
that'd be neat. Yeah, if they paid for it, like
Yeah.
yeah.
So Might and Magic Era of Chaos looks like it was also a mobile game. Um,
Hmm.
and then Rainbow Six Siege was after Elite Squad, which this, of course, they're gonna showcase this game because this it just keeps making them money.
Dude,
You
Yeah,
yeah,
know, the
doesn't
yeah.
community
stop with this
around
one.
Rainbow Six Siege is unbelievable. All my friends still play it. I'm the only
Yeah, I'm
one
about
that
to say
doesn't
I
play
have a
it.
lot of friends who
Oh,
still play it.
Yeah.
and I mean, the game has come so far, man, to from where it started. That I mean, you got to give them props in that end because they keep supporting this game. They have so many different characters now that this is the same thing. Like if you go in there, you better play for like a day or two by yourself, just figuring out everything else before you go
Right.
into
Yeah.
multiplayer. But
I
yeah,
I played quite a bit of this game off and on, and I think I've bought like every season. Well, maybe not every one, but I bought at least like 3 or 4 of the seasons, and I like it. But I feel like they need to add a few more things. Like I'll be honest with you, if you go back to this game, maybe besides Titanfall, like I've just recently experienced, but you go back to this game and you want to talk about butt whooping and being lost and not knowing what the heck's going on. And the worst part about it is there's no quick respawns. You got to wait for the rounds to end. Man, it is a brutal game. I hope that they somehow make like a casual, friendly mode just to get you back into it, because
Right.
I'd go back and play it, but like I just know I'm going to get my butt kicked for a few days
oh
straight.
for
It's like it
sure,
doesn't
yeah.
really sound
Right.
fun.
They
Yeah.
There's
got some
so
dedicated people who know
you
the ins and
played
outs of
you
it.
play Rainbow Six Siege at all, kind?
I've played it, but I haven't like really delved into it. Like well, my roommates, they play it every now and then, and I'll jump in. But
Yeah.
it's a lot to take in, and they all are pretty expert and intense
Oh
about
yeah.
it. So I'm like, yeah, they need kind of like a casualty mode, I guess, just to kind of get into it. I mean, I could really sit there and try, but then I'm always have too many battle passes rolling around, dude. I'm like, I need to finish
Yeah.
Destiny's battle pass. I need to finish Warzone's battle pass. I need to do all these things.
Oh
I'm like,
man,
then
yeah.
I'm at work all day. I'm like, haven't had enough time to really delve into it. But I know people who love it, man.
Oh
And
yeah, it does amazing. Like I mentioned too, a lot of my friends still play it. When I go to play with them, like even private matches, it's just like people
right,
are just shooting little holes in walls so they can get a better angle. And here I am running like it's Call of Duty, and you're like, nope, not
Yep.
this game, buddy, not this game.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
all right, anything else on Rainbow Six? Anybody?
Yeah.
No.
Not personally, no. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
uh,
So after that, well, the game that's showing right now, Hyper Escape, which got me hyped up, got me really hyped up for this game. I
yeah,
love the battle royale genre. Play a lot of Warzone. I play
Yeah.
Fortnite with my nephew all the time. What else do I play? That's mostly Warzone. Yeah, Warzone has taken over for me.
yeah.
Um, but Hyperscape looks different. It looks like it's something. It's adding something a little bit new to the genre.
Hmm.
Tempest, you played this game, right? What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I gotta I was very impressed. And I am let's see, I love shooters like immensely.
Mm-hmm.
And the battle royale genre isn't something I actually really enjoy. It's just what everybody plays in the shooter genre right now. Yeah, so I'm kind of stuck with it, right? And I feel like this game takes a lot of the what I call like battle royale bull crap out of the game. And what I mean by that is you pick up 2 weapons, you pick up your abilities, and you instantly just get on the go. And instead of just like searching for the perfect weapon, the perfect attachment, you spend no time looting. Your goal is to just get to the enemy as quick as you can. And when you find more loot, you like if you have a shotgun, you pick up a shotgun again, and your shotgun upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you upgrade your gear. Is you
Okay.
just keep on moving, and I'm pretty sure I stated it reminded me. If anybody's out there played Tribes, it's an old PC genre. Really reminded me of that series. That's an old series going back to like early 2000s, and yeah, awesome series. So I loved it. I was very impressed, and it is extremely different than what's on the market. A long time to kill. In most cases, some people would think it's too long, but I think the point of the game is to try to use your abilities, and it is possible to get taken out pretty quickly. But you can get in some firefights that quite literally might last like minutes. like an
Oh,
actual
wow.
firefight. Yeah, they last quite a long time. So it's got a really long time to kill, but in a way, it's fun because the entire time you're bouncing off of stuff, you're using abilities, you're jumping from rooftop to rooftop, so it almost feels like your time is valued a little bit more, to be honest. And the respawn mechanic is amazing. When you die, you're still playing the game because you can see everybody on the map, so you can be a ghost running around and making actual call outs to your teammates. And the way you revive is you find an enemy that has died, you stand by their corpse, if you will. You'll see like a little light, and then your teammates who are still alive can come to you, and they just have to hold a button for like a few seconds, and it revives you. So it's good stuff, man. Yeah, it's very unique, and it's I think it's on open beta now. So
fast paced. Is it really fast paced or?
No. It's a long time to kill, but it's very fast paced. If that
Very
makes
good,
any
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's more about mobility, movement. Knowing how to work the game, if you will, instead of just, oh, I saw you first. I'm pretty good with my aim, so you're gonna die instantly. It's not that kind of game.
Right.
So yeah.
I know Cotton likes Battle Royale too. You guys actually got me my first quad win ever in Warzone.
Oh yeah,
which
Warzone.
I felt amazing. Like once I got that off, I've gotten a couple more. But man, you like this game too, or what?
I mean, I haven't played it. I actually had no idea about it at all until I watched this event. I guess I've just been out of the loop. I've been a little busy, but it looks sweet. I mean, the
Hosting the
abilities
ESPN DO show will do that for you, my
I know,
friend.
dude.
You gotta take
busy.
a break once in a while.
I know, dude. They keep me on my toes. But it's it looks cool. The like mobility looks cool. The abilities look cool. Like the kind of parkouring, the jumping around. It looks tight. It kind of reminds me of a game, Shadowrun. You guys ever play Shadowrun?
Oh
yeah.
I love that game. I super love that game. And there were some different builds, but like they had like the teleport abilities. There's just a bunch of different abilities and different weapons. So it looks tight. It looks cool. It's interesting that they're having that free 30 tier battle pass. Makes me think of like, is that like, are they going to have like the free battle pass that goes all the way up to the, whatever, how many tiers it is. And then they have the premium one and they're going to give you the free premium, battle pass tiers up to 30.
I'm not sure, but they're going to make their money off this game because
for sure.
I like the aesthetics of this game a lot too.
Yeah.
The characters are very pretty, which I appreciate. I'd rather have a game with good-looking characters instead of just like ugly mongoloids running around. Personally, some people are into that, but you give me good-looking characters, male or female, doesn't matter. If I can like dress them up and make them look cool, I'm there. So they're going to make some money with this game, and it is fun, and it's very, 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 very what's the word? Polished, like no jank at all.
Yeah, I gotta download
Zero jank. Yeah, no, get on immediately, especially if you get that new monitor, man, because they built this game for speed, and it runs perfectly on at least my PC, and I don't have like the best PC ever. So
another thing I do like about this game is it's in third person. Like I don't understand all these cosmetics that they sell on all these other games. Then they're first person, like you barely see it. Who cares?
Well, this is first person.
Oh, is this first? Oh,
okay. You're thinking of Rocket League, which is another game I just played, but that
Rocket
cool
Arena
too,
game looks sweet.
Yeah, but that's like an arcade arena thing. This is like a battle royale.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. No, it looks cool, dude.
Yeah, man, it looks cool. I'm excited for this one. Nightwolf 3186 asked us, Cybernox, what do you guys think of the next Ubisoft Forward event and what will be there? I have no idea. Maybe they will give a more in-depth on Beyond Good and Evil 2. What else they got cooking? Maybe another Rabbit and somebody collaboration with
the Rabbids.
The
maybe
Rabbids and Mario, maybe
Rabbids Rayman or something.
Or Rayman.
This is my take, though. Be honest with you, I think they need to double down on some of the stuff they showed because
I think that's what they'll do.
Yeah, because Assassin's Creed needs more explaining, and they need to sell that game a bit more because it's launching like 3 days before Cyberpunk. They need to sell
some serious
like
competition.
Never sold any game ever before. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think it'll be a deeper dive.
What do you think they're gonna do for the next event?
Yeah, I think it'll be a deeper dive into kind of what they showed off here. I think obviously you're going to get some Far Cry 6. in
Yeah.
there, some actual
Mm-hmm.
gameplay, hopefully. But yeah, they need to delve into Assassin's Creed, maybe show more of just the systems and stuff, because you see a lot more of it with how they gave everyone some hands-on, like, and you can find more gameplay of it, and people are going into the upgrade system, and they didn't showcase a lot of that stuff. So I think they'll give you some more of like the systems and the games. Beyond Good and Evil is definitely what I feel like everyone wants to see. And the
Yep.
thing, if they showed that in the pre-show, then maybe they're kind of saving that for their next showcase, which is hopefully what they're gonna do. I mean,
Yeah, man.
they have some more titles I think they're working on. So
Yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed for Splinter Cell. We never know. We never
Splinter Cell,
know.
honestly,
Oh
it could
man.
be. I mean, the mobile games, I think it's a good way to help market uh actual title like a console or a PC game, because like if we look at Gears Pop, like you have, I feel like that came out right before Gears 5 did, and it's just like just help people kind of get in the vibe. You have people who maybe never played Gears and they like to play mobile games, and then they get that piques their interest. They could be doing that sort of strategy for Splinter Cell. I mean,
Yeah.
fingers crossed for sure. I want to see Splinter Cell. That was
Oh,
like a
that's right.
knife in the back. I was
Blue
like, you're
Moon
gonna
in the
bring him out
chat.
right here on mobile?
Yeah, man. Blue Moon in the chat also mentioned that Skull and Bones game. Did they
Yeah,
that is that still going? Did they cancel that or no?
I think they're repurposing it.
Yeah,
He said it right there, into a more live service. That was always like a very strange.
which
Looked cool, but it was strange. Like who's that for?
well, it brings the question too that developers, just because something is hot or something is popular this year doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be popular next year. You know what I mean? And then they'll
right.
start working on these games, and then as the tide, no pun intended, as the tide changes into a different, into something else, and then now they're stuck with this game, and like, oh, are we really going to find a market or an audience for this? It's tricky,
Yeah,
man. It's real tricky.
Yeah,
I,
it was
I
a
Since
while ago
hmm
that they showed that off, right?
yeah,
Like
it's
it
like
was
two
just
years
that
now.
trailer. It was
Yeah,
only 2 years. It feels like so long because you haven't
it
seen
might have been
anything on it.
3, but I think it was 2. It might have been 3 though. I mean, it was at one of the E3s, and since they showed it, we haven't like seen anything on it.
Right. And I mean, they have a lot of boats and that sort of mechanics within Assassin's Creed too. So it's
yeah,
like I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah, it's hard. It'd be hard to find a market for that. I mean, maybe the Sea of Thieves type market, maybe more gritty, real looking, more like that. It'd be cool to see. I mean, I like those kinds of games. I like Sea of Thieves, so it'd be cool to see like a more realistic take on it.
yeah. See, Thieves
yeah.
is doing tremendously well now on Steam too, man. That game
Yeah,
just
yeah.
took
It's
off.
it's crazy to me that game's at its peak, and it's been out for like 3 years now,
Right,
almost.
right.
Dude,
It blows my mind. Yeah,
they add so much to that game. It's crazy.
yeah. Nightwolf had another statement, if you will, in
Yeah,
the chat, and to go off of what he was saying, it's hard to believe. It makes me wonder. Maybe there is a Splinter Cell. Like, this is an actual question. Like, because of the virus. I don't know if you want me to say it or not, but the virus out there and everything like that. Like, if because of that, if there was any prior arrangements for Splinter Cell to be shown on like Xbox's stage, and then all this crap happened, would that actually keep Ubisoft from showing it themselves? You know what I'm saying? Or
oh
like,
yeah.
it makes me
Mm,
wonder. I don't know. I
I
Yeah.
mean,
hope Splinter Cell's out there, man. I
Oh
really do.
man, me too, man. I love that franchise. Believe it or
I,
not, the first like Halo didn't sell me an Xbox. Like it was Splinter Cell that sold me an Xbox first. That's like
Yeah,
I was just like that whole thing about the stealth. I just loved it. Oh man, but
yeah,
we'll see, we'll see. But
yeah.
yeah. So let's talk about this game, this little game called Assassin's Creed Valhalla that they showed off. At the end, yeah, they showed off this game right at the end, and they also had an extended gameplay right after the show, a post show.
yeah.
Um, I have some thoughts here, but
Let's hear.
man, not impressed, not impressed. I'm sorry. I'm in a love and hate relationship with Assassin's Creed franchise right now. I love the way the original was. I do understand. I guess me missing the stealth genre, Assassin's Creed was like my last hope holding on to it. and then it just took a left turn somewhere. Like I understand you have to evolve with times, you have to adapt to what with what your audience wants. And as soon as they introduced Origins and Odyssey did tremendously well, they they're just gonna keep going in that direction. To me now, the franchise has become more of an action RPG. There are
Mm-hmm.
stealth elements on there, but not like it was before. I
Yeah.
just feel like you can put if you took Assassin's Creed's name out of it and you just named this game Valhalla.
Hmm.
You know
Right.
what I mean? It wouldn't change anything. They don't even call this Eagle Vision anymore. Eagle Vision, yeah. Is it Eagle Vision? I think it was Eagle Vision, right? They don't
I think
even
it's like Crow Vision now.
it's like Odin's Eye or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So man, I don't think I don't mind the action. I think it does, it does well what it's intended to do. The combat looks good. It looks like the Assassin's Creed from before. But
Hmm.
it just, I don't know, it looked a little bit stiff. Like
Yeah.
I don't mind the world. Um I don't know, man. There was something about it. I was just like, oh, I've seen this before. And
Hmm.
they added the rap battles, which I thought was, hey, why not?
Yeah.
I forgot what they were calling them. But we'll see. The
That's what I've
graphics,
been
the
hearing everyone call them though. The
yeah,
rap battles for
the
sure.
rap battles.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
graphics, I wasn't too impressed, but maybe that could have been the stream, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just miss like they were bringing, like, you can see it on the screen now. They were bringing a little bit of stealth elements from like the first game. I'm like, really? Like, there's nothing else you guys can do to like somebody just hiding in the crowd and the crowd walking? Like, I don't know, but
Well, one thing that got buried, sorry to cut, one thing
yeah,
that
no,
got
go ahead, man.
buried in them talking about the stealth is they didn't emphasize enough that the assassinate feature is really an assassinate feature. I think they said in rare cases, enemies that are way too above your level might not get one shot,
I
but they
hate that
added,
about it. I hate
yeah.
that.
Well, they kind of fixed that in reason. If you're near the level, even some important NPCs can be assassinated, and they added kind of like a timing mini game to it.
Okay,
But it's more possible, from what I understand now, to get actual assassinations, and it's not like Odyssey where unless you spec into it, your assassination only does like quarter damage to somebody's health, for example.
right.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay,
So yeah, but
I don't know.
anyway,
What about you, Cotton, man? What you think about this game?
I
You
mean,
looking
yeah,
forward
just
to
a
it? How'd it look?
I mean, more now. Assassin's Creed, like, dude, I love the first one and the second one. The second one, honestly, that's one of my favorite games. It's so good. Such a true, like, evolution of the first one. Like, it was very well done. I loved the
Mm-hmm.
original story with those characters. I loved Assassin's Creed all the way up till I think three was the last. I played Black Flag actually, which came after three, right? I mean, but
Yeah,
I never played. I don't know. They what they come out with. They came out with so many like Syndicate and
I played
uh
Syndicate. Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Unity and all. I just never. For me, it kind of just what is that like? Just they were coming out with one every year. It felt like so
Yeah,
I ended up falling off,
just got
and
mhm,
franchise fatigue, man.
I got. It seemed like it, but I mean, I can hear nothing but good things about. Like one of my homeboys, he loved Origins. He loved it, and that's when it really took a turn where I started to get interested in it again because you got that new mythology and like just
mhm,
the environment. It looks so sweet. Like Blue Moon said in the chat, like this is in ninth century England, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a, that's a world I want to see. You know what I mean? Like this is interesting to me, and the game
Yeah.
looks good. It doesn't look phenomenal to me, like the facial animations and stuff like that. Doesn't look outstanding, but it looks good, and it will look good on my OLED. So I'm gonna play it for sure. I just got Odyssey through Xbox Live, so I have to play that and see how it is because
so
like I
good.
haven't really played since like Assassin's Creed 3, so it'll probably feel a bit different for me, even
Mm-hmm.
if this is more the same as far as this new trilogy of Origins and Odyssey and now Valhalla. Like I like that they're doing this sort of mythic quest, with all of these with this kind of trilogy. But I mean, it looks good to me as far as the combat and stuff. But I haven't played Assassin's Creed in long enough, so it looks different to me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'll
Blue
jump
Moon
into
mentioned
Odyssey. feel it out.
Yeah, they added a lot more, I guess, things for you to do in this world. But Blue Moon mentioned something as well too that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. I actually even forgot the base building.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah,
added base building to this game, you know.
Hmm.
That's gonna be interesting. But also gets me worried. I hear a lot of people talk about Odyssey, how many fetch quests there are, how much stuff there is to do in that world. And now that you have a base building, like how much more they're gonna keep adding for you to just stay in that world and collect and get more resources, material, and just keep going back, you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, you can't, you know, you got to realize that they do keep putting a lot more things for you to do there, like the fishing, hunting. I guess you can, you know, hunting now too, and the base building looks good. The rap battles, you know, they just keep evolving. But yeah, anything else? Anything else you guys
it
want
just seems it
to
seems like a
miss?
lot. I'm super OCD about all the markers on my
Oh
map,
man,
and
me too. I'm
I
like
hear
that.
about everyone sinking how just countless hours into these Assassin's Creed games being
Yeah.
completionists, and I'm like, at this point, it's like my backlog's kind of full. I really want to just see how awesome this these worlds are and the set pieces and the story that how they're gonna, you know, delve into these mythologies of like,
Yeah,
you know,
Hmm.
in these times. I want to see all that, but I'm like, at the same time, I want to perch on every tower. What is, and I don't even know, there's fishing now, there's all this stuff to build a settlement.
Hmm.
I mean, it's
yeah.
more things to do, and if you're one of the people who wants to sink that much time into the game, then, you know, more to you, go for it. I
That's the
normally am that person, but I got a lot more games to play,
that's the
especially if this is
problem I
coming
have.
out
Yeah,
with
that's the
Yeah.
problem
Cyberpunk,
I
you know
have
what I mean?
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
if every check mark, every question mark I see, like I have to go and check it out. I'm like, God damn
Right.
it, let me go
Yeah.
and get this thing done. You were gonna say something, Tempest?
Yeah, I just wanted to speak on the Valhalla part
Oh
of
yeah, man.
stuff I could.
Let me just mention one thing before you say something. Nightwolf
Yeah.
said that AC3's had the best combat in my opinion. I love like the executions that he used to do on
Hmm.
Yeah.
AC3. Oh my god! There's one day you could throw I don't know if it was like a knife spear or whatever. You throw it, jump off the branch, and then just like raise the guy up, and then like sink it to the ground, and he stay there. I was like, jeez. Like,
AC3
okay,
was
it's
great,
getting
man.
brutal. It was awesome. But yeah, go ahead, Tempest. My bad.
Yeah, I think this for me personally, I'm half in love with more than half in love with what I see, and then there's another part of me that does feel let down because Assassin's Creed Odyssey was my favorite game that year, and it's one of my favorite of the generation. It's easily in my
Really?
top five. I
Okay.
love Odyssey so much for so many different reasons, and some reasons you might not expect, like just the. I talk a lot about personality in games, but there are so many times in Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I literally laughed out loud. The writing's phenomenal on some of the side quests and stuff. So I never saw it as being a grind because I was actually excited to go to new islands and start side quests because some of them just flat out made me laugh, like
Oh
really
yeah.
good storylines. And I see nothing different here. It's probably going to be the same thing. At least I hope it is. I just think the only like really spooky thing to me that I just don't know what happened. I don't know if it's the pandemic situation, but the facial expressions almost aren't even there, and it's a
Yeah.
step down from Odyssey. And I
Okay.
just don't know why. I don't know why. But if you look at the combat and some of the animations, people were talking about the animations. I think the problem with this game is this really is a this gen game
Yeah.
that they are making enhanced versions for the new consoles. I think that's the biggest issue, if you will. Also, it's going to be a little bit hard to try to make the animations realistic when you look at how you dodge, how quick you move. You're doing supernatural stuff pretty much with how
Right.
strong you are and all this stuff. But I will say the combat changes they made, they added some ridiculously cool features. You can dual wield shields.
Right.
You can mix and match any weapon you want as far as dual wielding. That thing you can do now where you pick somebody up and ram them into stuff,
Oh
and
yeah.
she rammed the guy through two different doors of a building. So at least there's some form of destruction too, and so at least
Right.
on the doors. So I think there's a lot of things that people aren't really picking up on that you're not really going to notice until you play the game. Um, I said this before a while ago, and I still truly mean it. If this is just an upgraded Odyssey with just more things, and that's really what a sequel is. You add stuff to it, like the
Mm-hmm.
base building.
Yep.
My wife was like, I loved Odyssey, but like I couldn't get into it because I don't like that time period and that culture. But she loves Vikings, so she can't wait to play it with the Viking setting.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
told her there's base building and there's settlement building, and she was like, "Oh my god!" That like sold it to her right away. Some people love that kind of stuff, but that is just an additional feature that they're adding onto the formula.
Yeah.
So I think if they add enough stuff to it, I mean, really, they need to tighten up the facial animations a little bit because they're looking kind of spooky now. So it'll be hard to get into the story, especially if you're supposed to feel something for these characters and they're looking like little clay people barely moving their mouth, you know.
Right.
Don't know what happened there. I really don't. But I'm
Yeah.
almost just as hype as I've ever been for this game, to be honest with you, because I mean, just look at what we're seeing on the screen right now. Different types of enemies. They really went all out with the different gameplay features. So I'm really excited for it. So
Yeah, man. Like I said, I have a love and hate relationship with Assassin's Creed. Like
yeah.
after I was mentioning to Blue Moon on the chat. I put over 100 hours on on Origins, and
Mm-hmm.
then like uh Odyssey came out the following year. I said, no way, man. I need a break. Like, I can't jump from like putting 100 hours on Origins to Odyssey like that. So I took a break. You know this, Tempest. I still haven't played
Yeah.
it. You know, so
Yeah.
like it makes me. I have to question like, oh, should I go to Odyssey and then wait for me to play Valhalla, or should I play Valhalla first and then
Right.
hopefully go back to Odyssey? But I like both worlds, man. I love the setting of both. I love the Viking setting, and I love it was in Greece, right? The Greek setting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man. I know like in Origins there was a part of the game. Oh, I don't want to say I don't want to say because I think Blue Moon just started it, but the water later on the game, it looks amazing. You just look at some of these vistas and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like very, very,
Oh,
very good.
that's something. If I may,
No, you
the
may not.
setting.
No, I'm just come on, man.
What? The set. What I will say is between Origin and Odyssey,
Yeah.
I felt there was more diversity in the area, and the area overall looked better in Origins than it did Odyssey. I think
Really?
Odyssey. I do. The reason I say that is because they're in Odyssey. The changes to some of the islands were so subtle; it was almost hard to notice that they were different. There was differences, like you could go from one area to another, and it would noticeably look different. But Origins was crazy. Origins, you would have an oasis with like a sand dune right next to that, and then a beautiful vineyard next to that, with a city next to that, and in the background you'd see the pyramids. You know, just crazy
Yeah,
diversity in
dude.
the area. Here, if you watch this trailer and actually watch it for what it is, you go from like jungle area to areas that look like they're from Odyssey to a really snowy area to like to villages. I mean, just look at the trailer. You're going from one locale to the other, and that
Yeah.
really excites me. So, yeah, I'll say
Yeah,
that
man.
much.
Well, it does look promising,
Yeah.
Like I said, Assassin's Creed it's a beloved franchise. A lot of people, are gonna get this game, and hopefully it does it justice.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
anything else, Kyle, you want to add?
Oh man, I'm excited. I mean, even this sequence here with the battering ram on the doors, like
Yeah.
there's a lot to be excited about. Like these worlds, like I'm kicking myself. I never played Odyssey. As my friend always told, not Odyssey, Origins. My friend always told me, and like that's those environments are things that I live to see for in games. So this one
Yeah.
looks like it's gonna have a bunch of different ones.
Hmm.
The mythos is gonna be sweet, dude. I'm excited for some set pieces.
Yeah, it seems like
And
they took a little bit of like they took a little bit from each game. Like they,
mhm.
you uh taking over a fortress. They took that like from Shadow of War, let's say. The building
Right.
base. I'll take that from Fallout. And then every
Yeah.
game always gets inspiration from other games. So yeah, man,
Hmm.
I like the logo a lot too. Though it's just showing on screen right now. I really I thought they did a good job with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
So the
Mhm.
surprise that got revealed early or got spoiled for everybody was Far Cry 6. What do you
Yep.
guys think about that, man? The last Far Cry game I played, I didn't play 5. did I play? What was 4?
4 was with Troy Baker with the up in the mountains there. Crap, I can't remember the area, but he was the dude with like the half shaved head and like the white hair.
Yeah, he was great.
Oh yeah.
He
I
was
remember
great,
now.
dude.
Was
Yeah,
it in
yeah,
the Philippines or something?
yeah, it was
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
I didn't play that one either, but I know
Yeah,
what you're
Pagan
talking
Min
about.
was one of the coolest villains. I think he was up there for me
Yeah.
with Voss. Oh, dude, he was so cool.
Far Cry 3 I played. Voss was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, this guy was good too, man. It's Pagan Min.
Hey, yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not he was just more in the game. He was in the game a lot longer than Voss was, in 3. And he was a crazy dude. I can't remember where. I think they were in a fictional region. I can't remember where. In Far Cry 4, it was in the Himalayas. I'm pretty sure though.
Oh,
I can't
Himalayas.
remember
Yeah,
what they
that's what
called it.
Yeah.
But no, that's the last one I played too, and I like that one a lot. Love 3, love 2, Far Cry Primal, Instincts. I go way back with those.
Nice.
Those are great games, man.
What I do remember about 4 is that you could have finished the game like in the first section. Like if there was like a little Easter egg, like, okay, follow me. And if you don't follow him and you just stay in the cabin, like it ends the game. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
That's cool. Yeah, I liked all of them. I liked 3, 4, and I did like 5. My problem with 5 is like it's like I was talking about Legion, Watch Dogs Legion. 5, your character was mute. Like I appreciate the fact you could make your character sort of, but your character was mute. You're living through other people talking to you. That silent protagonist thing, dude, it just doesn't. It works for me in a game where I have dialogue choices, like Knights of the Old Republic or something. But when your character is literally just there, like nodding and stuff, like that's the crap they did with Division. I couldn't even get through the story mode in Division 2 just because your character is an idiot, just sits there and stares, like blank face and just nods at people. I'm like, bro. So I'm hoping this one you have an actual character to play as, voiced and everything. That I'm hoping for that at least. So.
Yeah, I was this trailer here for Far Cry 6. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah.
Shoot, I forget his name. The guy that played that was on Breaking Bad. What was his name?
Like Giancarlo
Esposito.
I don't know how to
Giancarlo
pronounce
Esposito.
it.
Yeah, man, he kills that dialogue, man. That my god! And then you see him acting all man, and like Nightwolf mentioned here, a lot of people speculating that the kid shown on the trailer is Vaz, which that would be a cool tie into the whole series, So what do you guys think about the trailer overall?
You can go, Cotton.
Go ahead, man.
I mean, I think it looks great. This dude looks exactly like how he looks. His likeness is spot on. Like that is him, straight out of Breaking Bad, straight out of The Mandalorian. If you've seen that.
Oh yeah.
I'm a fan of this guy. He plays a villain so good. He's got this calm, collected, just sense to him, and he just makes you feel like he knows what's going on. Like he knows what he's talking about. So it's always sketchy whenever it's a villain that you kind of almost like can get behind. Not that I can get behind what he's saying, but he wants to convince you. And if it's about this kid and whether they give you decisions to side with your father or join the rebellion or whatever they go with it. This cutscene looks great to me, man, and I'm ready for. Far Cry's characters are normally really good, man. Like I said, Pagan Man was great. The person you play as, I didn't play 5, so I didn't know he was voiceless, but like they normally do some pretty sweet dialogue and take some risque moves with their characters. So I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see some gameplay for it, see how much they've changed on it. Far Cry's, like I said, I love it, dude. I was all the way back on the 360 playing Primal and Instincts, and Far Cry 2 is one of my favorite games too. This is sick. Far Cry Blood Dragon, that was a great game. I love Blood Dragon, dude. So I'm only excited for Far Cry, honestly. Kind of surprised I didn't play 5 because it looked like it was in a cool setting. So maybe
5 was still good, and 5 had one of the best villains as well.
That's what I heard.
That was that was a cult, right? Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
yeah, I think it was Johnny Seed. I think their Seed brother. Well, anyway, yeah, that it was really good. It just the voiceless protagonist thing did bother me
Yeah,
quite a
that
bit.
normally
But
does. I mean, look at
yeah,
this guy, man. He looks so good. Look at
So
his
good.
facial hair.
Yeah.
oh yeah, it makes
Everything
me
looks
want to
good.
watch Breaking Bad again.
Oh my
Right? I
God, I
know.
love Breaking Bad, man. Jesus,
Yeah,
I love that series.
yeah. Um,
Yeah, go ahead, Tempest.
I was just gonna say how I feel about it. I'm stoked for it. I like the fact that they mentioned you'll actually be able to go into the city this time, so it's not just wilderness. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
interested to see how they handle an open world Far Cry, but with buildings and stuff.
Right.
It's quite different than the other, I guess, three now.
Yeah.
Um, Two things: voice your protagonist and 60 frames per second mode. I hate to keep going there, but dude, it has to
It's
happen.
necessary, dude.
It has to happen. It has to. And what I will say is the screenshots, because that's all we've gotten. I don't know if have you guys seen the screenshots that they released?
Nah.
For
No. For Far
no,
Cry 6.
no, I didn't
It,
see
it
it.
looks better than even like Watch Dogs Legions, which I think looks good. And then a lot of us are slightly disappointed with how Valhalla looks. It looks way better than Valhalla. It looks much more next gen than those games do. So even though it's only a few months, maybe that was just enough time to make it look more next gen, if you will. But the
Yeah.
screenshots were impressive. They really were impressive looking for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm looking
Um,
at them right now. They look sweet.
yeah, they look fantastic. So but they need to. It's a shooter. It's a first person shooter, bro. I can't do shooters first person games anymore if they're some third person games. I get it, but
Yep.
if it's first person, it has to be at least 60 frames a second, man. It has to.
Yeah, man, I agree. It also brings that question like, if this game is not doing 60 frames per second, it better be doing a lot of things right for me to
Right.
play it at 30, And it needs to
Yeah.
justify them potentially getting that next gen upgrade, also the next gen price hike,
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So that said, Tempest, what was your game of the show? Which game are you looking forward to the most that they showed here?
Legion surprised me the most because I didn't care about it. But even though I got my issues with it, and some people are like, "This game looks sketchy," I get it. I hear you, dude. If it's a Valhalla. I mean, it's Assassin's Creed like Odyssey, but it's with Vikings, bro.
Yeah.
It's just my jam. Like I don't know what to say. It's my thing, and I can't believe it launches 3 days before Cyberpunk.
That's
Ugh,
something's
That's
gonna have to happen.
crazy.
Something's gonna have to
because
give there.
I,
I don't
I
know
I
who.
was looking forward to Valhalla almost just as much as Cyberpunk. So that's gonna. I was telling my wife, dude, I was like, this isn't fair. Like, how does this happen?
Yeah, that's one.
I don't have the time.
The time and both these worlds are gonna be massive. So
Massive. Yeah.
these games just keep getting the scale of these games are just getting out of control. But
Yeah.
that could be a good thing. Some people buy 1 or 2 games a year, and you can potentially play 1 or 2 games for like the duration of the whole year. So, what about you,
Yeah.
Con, man? What was your game of the one that you're looking most forward to from seeing the show?
Yeah. I'm pretty like minded with Tempest. I honestly did not care about Watch Dogs Legion at all. Like
Hmm.
I couldn't have. I knew there was a Watch Dogs 2, but in my mind I thought Legions was 2 because I like honestly until I was like, no wait, they did have a sequel to Watch Dogs. Like it was not on my radar. Super
Mhm.
surprising. I want to play it. Valhalla, like I said, I've been out of the world of Assassin's Creed for a while. Maybe after I start playing through Odysseys, I just got it all downloaded. Maybe I'll be a little bit more hyped up for this. I'm mostly hyped to see the world in it, but for me, it's Far Cry. I know they didn't show a lot about it, but just knowing how they handle the story in their games and how
Yeah.
good that cutscene alone looked, like I could watch a whole
Yeah,
animated
right.
movie. Like I'm just looking that way, I wouldn't even care, man. So the
Yeah.
cutscenes will be worth it for me, and so Far Cry for sure takes the cake for me. I'm excited to see what they show off with their next show and that.
Mhm.
Nice. Well, for me, believe it or not, after watching this event, Watch Dog Legions was my favorite game out of those three. Just because, like I mentioned before, seems like it's gonna be a very fun sandbox. You're gonna have so many different characters. You might break that routine of just doing the same thing over and over again, and the variety of things that you'll be able to accomplish, either by approaching a scenario different, or just your character being someone that it totally fun and you can appreciate that world with. That was the game that actually caught me by surprise. And out of those three, like I said, Assassin's Creed to me looks more of like Assassin's Creed, which is not a good or bad thing. If you love that series the way it is now, you love it, which is amazing. And if you're someone that's on the fence like me, then I'm on the fence. Like, what can I say? And we just didn't see enough from Far Cry. Obviously, the actors that they have playing, bring that extra hype. But for me, the game of the that I'm most looking forward to is Watch Dogs Legions for that reason. But yeah, guys, that brings us to the end of the show. I appreciate you guys coming by. Nightwolf, thank you so much, bud, for coming by. Blue Moon, I appreciate the subscription and for you to chatting with us here for a little bit, just a little over an hour. Just a little bit of outros now, guys. If we got to get together again on some Warzone, or maybe we can all download the beta and try hyperspace. We got to get together, man. So Tempest, tell everybody where everybody can find you.
I am at the Tempest Sun on Twitter. My gamer tag is Tempest Sun. From there, I mean, we could hook up, play whatever. I'm planning on playing more Rocket Arena, especially because it's crossplay, so there's no limits there. Yeah, so anybody can. I love crossplay. It changes everything.
Man, yeah,
that's the best thing.
I hope just next gen we get a lot more crossplay.
Heck yeah! So I'll be playing that. I want to try more Hyperscape and Titanfall 2 at 144 frames per second. I just gotta.
Both of you guys are flexing a little bit on this show. Cotton Lawyer earlier was like, I just gotta play. I got an OLED here, and then I'm gonna play. And I was like, okay, I heard you, no problem.
Yeah.
So, how about you, Con, man? Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, you can definitely find me on Twitter. It's pretty much the only place I'm at besides if I show up here. It's Cotton McCast. Go ahead and talk to me there. You can add me on Xbox. My gamer tag is Terry Fold, one word. Shout out Rick and Morty. I'll be playing pretty much right now. I've just been going through my backlog, but I have been dipping into Warzone a little bit. I want to get Rocket Arena. Might have to. I just dropped money on Ghost of Tsushima. Got it pre-downloaded. I'm ready to try it out tomorrow night, 10 my time here in Denver. So I added both of you guys on PlayStation. Be my two first friends. You can also add me on PlayStation if you want. I don't really play it much except for the exclusives, but
yeah, same here.
It's Cotton McCast on there too.
Nice.
Thanks for having me on, dude. It was a lot of fun.
Man. I appreciate you guys coming by, and you can find me on Twitter. You guys can see it right here on the banners below. Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Sometimes I'll stream a little bit. Cybernox, pretty easy. And on Monday nights, you can find me on what his YouTube is, Double Barrel Gaming right now.
Yeah,
Double Barrel Gaming Boom's channel for Primetime Gaming Podcast. Guys, thank you so much for being here, man. I would like to keep doing these reactions or opinion pieces. Really enjoy it. I guess us to, sometimes when we do some of these podcasts, there's so many voices that, it's tough for you don't want to hug all the time. So yeah, I appreciate you guys coming by, man. And as always, guys, stay safe out there.